Hi. Probably one of the most common things I get asked all the time is, how do I set up my intonation on the guitar? And when we're talking about intonation, we're talking about making the guitar play in tune over the whole neck. Sometimes you'll get a guitar that'll play somewhat in tune down here, but it'll go sharp or flat as you go up the neck. And we want it to play in tune over the length of the neck. There are a lot of arguments you can make either way about whether a guitar can even play in tune. What we're talking about really is that we want an E down here to be in tune with an E up here by the 12th fret and even further up the neck. So that's really what we're talking about, and today we're going to show it. Just so you know, you can see we're going to be doing it on an electric guitar today, not an acoustic guitar. That's a whole different process. It's a little more difficult to set up the intonation on an acoustic because you're dealing with a relatively narrow area. Saddles on acoustics tend to be pretty narrow, and you're trying to get it as close as you can. Sometimes you can't get it all that close. Again, that's another discussion. We'll talk about that later. This is just a plain electric. Has a simple whammy system with 6 saddles. Each saddle has its own length that can be set up. And so we're going to set up the intonation. So let's get started right away. Okay. You can see we've got the bridge here. We've got our screwdriver. The screwdriver matches the Phillips head screws that are in the back of each saddle. I can either lengthen or I can shorten the distance of the string over the whole string, and I can lengthen it or shorten it depending on if the notes are flat at the 12th fret. How do we check that out? Well, a lot of folks will say that what you do is you play the string, the harmonic at the 12th fret, and then you play the fret at the 12th fret. And that's not a terrible way to do it, except for that the harmonic will play generally a little flat of what the pitch actually is. So if you tune to that, then all your strings are going to be tuned a little bit flat, and you don't want that. So the better way to do this is to tune to the open string an octave above. And you can see here on my tuner I've got it dead center, and then I'm going to press the 12th fret, and you can see it's quite sharp. So I need to lengthen the string. So I need to move the tuner, this saddle, this way, back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the pitch on it a little bit so I can tighten it down. And do it a little bit at a time. I'll wait till I get it in tune. That's pretty close. Still a little sharp. Now, some of you are going to say, man, you don't have much left on that saddle to move back, and that's true. But I still might have enough. If not, I might have to set a new angle on the neck or remove the spring, one of the two. Oh, that's getting closer. It's actually a little flat, so now I can go forward a little bit. Fortunately, I had enough there. Didn't have to move the neck. Okay, I'm going to now bring this way, just a hair because it's slightly flat, the played note. Now keep in mind you want to do this with this new set of strings. Look at that, right on the money. Right on the money. So now the open string and the 12th fret are in tune with each other. So now I can go on to the next string. let's play the 12th fret. Boy, it's darn close. Within a cent or two. I'm trying my best not to push the string when I play the fret. I don't want to push it or pull it. I want to press it directly down onto the fret without causing it to go sharp. It's a little sharp, so I'm going to bring it back a little bit. So I'll be going this way with the saddle. I'll tighten it down, and I'll also loosen the string a little bit. Might help if I was wearing my glasses. There we go. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to only bring it back a little bit. Wow, essentially right on the money. Next one. You're getting the idea. So we want to tune each string. Ooh, that looks pretty good already. That's pretty close. G. So there are other things to consider here. When you're doing intonation on your guitar, you really want to make sure that your truss rod and string height is already set. G is a little sharp, so I'm going to bring it back a little bit. And you'll notice that when I first pluck the string, it tends to go a little sharp, then it bounces back to where it would hold. Keep that in mind. Whoops. You want to allow the string to sort of balance itself out. Still a little sharp. And you can hear I'm loosening the string a little bit each time so that, I don't want to be breaking strings. So I've got the guitar in tune now. The camera stopped, the close-up of my tuner here stopped working, but you get the idea. If you play a note open and then you play the 12th fret, and again, don't bend the string in any way, just press it directly down, they should equal the same in tuneness at an octave apart. They should be equal to each other. Once you get to that point, then you can play almost anything up an octave at open chords, and they'll still sound really nicely in tune. Your solos will all sound in tune. Everything will sound in tune. Now, here's the deal. You might not have an orchestra tuner like this one here. If you don't, you can use your phone. There are a lot of tuning apps for phones. There we go. You can see this one actually has a strobe built into it. It's pretty accurate. The problem with these, of course, is that generally speaking, you'll be using the sound of the instrument to go into the tuner. With this one, I could plug it directly in, and if there are any other noises in the room, it ignores those. This will have to hear it. So you'd have to do it in a very quiet room, and that's, you know, that's not that big a deal. You can find a quiet room, I'm sure. Or if you don't have a, you know, a cell phone and can't download a free app, this is just, I think it's called Tunio. It's a free app for Android. You can use a clip-on tuner even. These are not horribly accurate, but they're accurate enough that if your guitar is really not playing in tune, these will get it close. Close enough that you might say, it sounds great, you know, and that's fine, you know. But again, what are we talking about? If you play the string open, and then you play the 12th fret, when you play the 12th fret, we compare that to the string open. The string open is what you want to be tuned to. So when we play the 12th fret, if that note is sharp compared to the open string, in other words, your tuner reads it as it's sharp, it's higher in pitch, you want to lengthen the string. So you want to take the saddle and go away from the string, back. If you play this note and it's flat of the open string you play it, and then you play this and it plays flat, you want to shorten the string, so you want to bring it this way. How much? A little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. Take your time, retune it, check it out again, keep doing it until it plays in tune. And again, do it with a fresh set of strings. Don't do it with strings that are even a week old or 2 weeks old. They can be dead by then. They can have changed their pitch. Your fingers, when you play them, especially the wound strings, the bits of skin get into the windings and it deadens the string and it changes its mass. And when the mass changes, it doesn't play in tune right anymore. So you really want to tune this for a set of strings that you usually use and a fresh set. And then it'll be playing in tune anytime you put in a new set, it's in tune. Short of other things going out. Okay, that's about it for getting your electric in tune. One other thing I'll mention, and it's important to note, but we can't do it here because it would take time, is that on the first few frets down here, okay, sometimes you'll get the thing in tune, but then you'll play down here and everything's sharp in the first few frets. That has to do with the nut not being cut properly. It's not cut to the proper depth, so that when you press down on the strings down here, the string is bending too much, and when it bends, as we know, it goes sharp. So it will play sharp in these areas down here. This one doesn't. This nut is cut properly, so it plays in tune all the way up the neck. But that's common. If you find that your guitar plays in tune up here, but it's playing sharp down in this area, some of the notes, especially you're going to notice like on an open G chord, though, you'll press down the G and it'll be quite sharp compared to the octave above it, the G, open G string. The nut is too high. The slots in the nut are too high, and we'll look at that another time. I'll show you how to do that another time. Anyway, that's how to set the intonation on your guitar. Good luck. Don't mess it up. Enjoy.